mentioned innovations in cloud computing being the main driver for changes that are happening at data centers. With so many companies now outside of just the cryptocurrency industry thinking about blockchain and how they can apply this to business strategy, what, if any, evolution do you think is going to happen as far as digital infrastructure at data centers as blockchain evolves and is applied more?
Yeah, so interesting topic. It's come up a lot. So the way blockchain basically works is just a distributed network, and you basically just need hundreds and hundreds of nodes to verify transactions. That's the very big basic summary. But these nodes have to be fully distributed across the network. They can't be one place. They can't be one server. They can't be 10 servers. They have to be hundreds of servers, hundreds of unique IP addresses to verify. So if people want a world where blockchain is the go-to ledger for all things transactions, you need to have thousands of these verified nodes all over the world, and you need to basically put them in a place where they can transact very fast. Or else if you want to send money through the blockchain or like any other type of method that includes blockchain technology, it would take very long. But you want it to be instantaneous. You want to send money, you want it kind of like Venmo, right? You want to send $10 and the other person, the counterparty, wants to receive it right away. For a fully optimized blockchain overlay on a network, you need to have very, very good latency. That basically requires all IT architectures and infrastructures to be localized into these key nodes, these key places. So the answer is we are moving this direction. There's going to be a point where you can finally start spinning up a very optimized type of blockchain, but we're not there today. There aren't enough people on the ledgers, aren't enough verification. That's why, for example, if you had the pleasure of buying Bitcoin at 20,000, basically it took a lot of money to transact. You probably got cut, you got hit with fees. It was probably very slow to settle. The reasons for that is because the network was just not prepared for any random person in like Milwaukee to execute the trade. It just wasn't structured correctly, and the infrastructure wasn't there. Basically, all these transitions that you see in digital infrastructure occurring, they're all moving closer to these key points of transmittance. That accelerates this process. That also lowers cost of transacting on the blockchain. So that's my short answer, believe it or not.
Can I ask, does that mean that the data centers are getting smaller and many more of them?
So there's two ways. I guess that's like the whole discussion around the edge. They're not getting smaller, but they're becoming more, I would say, more sensitive and more important depending on node, right? So say there could be a certain position in, say, like New Jersey, where almost all low latency trading is executed. That is the low latency trading node. But that doesn't mean you need 1 million servers. All that really means is that all the counterparties have to be located right there. So if there are 100 counterparties, you're probably going to need a minimum of 100 servers. Today, it's more like each counterparty has 100 different servers. So it's inefficient today. So you are going to have to spread the servers across the board, across every single, I would say, zip code to really execute a very effective low latency transaction.
Hey, Sammy, it seems like data centers are in contradiction of Moore's law, because as it goes, every 2 years, computing power doubles. So you do a lot more with a lot less. And I remember, full disclosure here, DuPont Fabros came to us about 12 years ago with their IPO, and I was like, wow, this is all going to be like miniature. It's just going to, this is not a serious asset class. Well, I was completely wrong about that. But how does it keep on growing despite this law?
Yeah, so Moore's law, basically, processing power has to double every 2 years, right? There are 3 different types of chips: CPU, GPU, and something called TPU. Think of TPU as like a Ferrari. Very high power, very luxury, very specific. I want to go cruising on the weekend. That's a Ferrari. You don't go to Whole Foods and pick up a bunch of salads with a Ferrari. You could, but you shouldn't. CPU is like a Camry, right? And you can basically do anything you want with it. It's big enough where you can, take a bunch of like furniture. You can drive it fast. It's comfortable, etc. And then the middle level chip is GPU, which is stuff that NVIDIA produces. That's like your Porsche SUV, or you could even just say Toyota Sequoia. That's like an example which can do a lot of other stuff, but you can't drive a Sequoia too fast because then you're going to flip the car on turn. So it comes down to the chip debate. Data is growing so fast, and it's growing in different ways. Not only do you need more chips, but you need them to be distributed in the right way. The key that almost everything comes down to when it comes to data centers is network IT architecture. So even if your chips are very powerful, they probably can't transmit from point A to point B at the right speed for the architecture to be fully optimized. So data is growing, but it's also growing in various forms, different zip codes, different demographics, different usage and applications. So you're going to need more facilities, and you need them to be spread across the board. The most recent concoction in data centers is putting servers around a metro cell tower, which is the business that American Tower is in, Crown Castle, et cetera. When you put servers around the tower A, the towers get another tenant, because it could be Google or Facebook, who wants to be or it could be Tesla pushing an update, or you basically have to put data centers in very unique places to essentially optimize this whole network architecture theme that I keep referring to. So short answer is data's growing. It depends how it grows. You're still going to need to distribute the network in the right way for it to work correctly.